Yo, what is up, fam? Welcome back to the Car Talk Podcast, episode 22. And today I'm cruising back home from my salmon fishing trip, solo adventure. I will say I'm not coming home with any fish. However, I probably wouldn't have even if I did catch a salmon. But still, I am not coming home with any fish. I'm coming home with some Kringles, which is probably just as good, if not better, in my opinion. And if you don't know what a Kringle is, shout out to Racine, Wisconsin. They make the best coffee cakes. They're called Kringles. They're phenomenal. If you haven't tried them, you've got to. They're, like I said, next level good. But yeah, I always try and get a Kringle when I'm up there, and I'm thankful I at least got that. And I also grabbed a bunch of rocks. I was just like obsessed with, my girlfriend's, I should start with this. My girlfriend's dad loves rocks, like absolutely loves them, and obviously collects them, and also has a rock tumbler to clean them and like make them super smooth and whatnot. So ever since, he's been sharing his passion for rocks to me, I've been like pretty fascinated with them. And I'm not gonna lie, today was the first day where I was like, holy smokes, these rocks are speaking to me. Like, these things are awesome. Like, they're so, and I'm probably gonna make like a bunch of TikToks with all the videos that I got, because I couldn't take home obviously all the rocks that I thought were cool, but I did take home a few, and this one right here is a prime example. It's absolutely awesome. When I pulled it out of the water, it was so smooth and so sleek, like black. It almost, like, I didn't believe that it was the same rock when I pulled it out of my pocket once it dried out, because it looks completely different dry. But I don't know, I'm obsessed with the fact that I can go out and go fishing and get skunked, but also, have a good time and, find the beauty in other things besides, obviously, just the fish. So, but enough about that. Today, I wanted to talk about some predictions that I have for the future, and just some things that, I think are interesting or cool, or, like I said, just kind of foreshadowing for the future, and for me to look back on to see if I'm right and stuff. But first and foremost, what I'm super, super excited about, and what I'm going to be working on, hopefully, the rest of this year, and I'll probably get the project, my first 2 NFT projects, I really, really would like to have those released by Christmas, I want to say, or around Christmas. So I'm really, really excited about that, and I do have a ton of work to do around that, but like I said, it's something that I'm really passionate about, and something that I'm really excited about. So I'm not dreading it. I'm actually looking forward to it, and so yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I just think that's going to be a super cool thing for the future, just because the blockchain is going nowhere. It is here to stay, and I genuinely believe that if you do the research and look underneath the hood of the blockchain infrastructure and technology that it provides, it is next level. Like, you are going to be like mind blown. Like, it's just awesome. Like, it's what it's going to allow us humans to do is next level, and I think each and every one of us are going to not only be benefited greatly by this technology, but we're also going to be adapting to it with or without desire to. And it's very similar to like the internet. Obviously the internet, when it first came out, not many people were very interested in blockchain, or interested in when the internet came out, they weren't very interested in the internet. They weren't thinking that it was going to be a big thing, and they weren't thinking what it was, or what it was going to be as far as, the technology that it allows us to have today, which is just, it's nuts. If you think about it, what the internet has allowed us to do over the past 20 years, or 30 years roughly since it's been around. It's it's insane. I think it's super, super cool. And I believe that NFTs and, just the blockchain in general is going to be just as important as the internet is. And I genuinely believe that, it's going to be underrated for a very long time. Not a very long time, like two years maybe. I'm recording this in 2022, so it's like, I'd say by 2024, 2025, I'd say almost everybody has a digital wallet. A wallet that is assigned to each and every person individually, and every, I want to say like NFT, but every receipt as well is going to be on that wallet. And it's not going to be like personal receipts. It's going to be more or less like, if you own Gucci bags, Gucci is going to come out with an authentication NFT that is digital, that you are going to have to prove that the authentic Gucci bag is in your possession, as opposed to, it being a fraud or a fake or whatever. So that's a prime example. And then another example is like gaming events, concert tickets, conference tickets, stuff like that. All kinds of, just a general admission tickets, things of that nature. Those are, instead of just being like a physical ticket, which they will probably still have those maybe, or they might not. Probably not, to be honest. Instead, they'll just have a NFT that you'll get, and that NFT is going to be on your wallet forever, and it's going to show that you obviously went to that conference. And what's cool about that is that it's kind of going to allow us to, or what I believe is going to happen, is that each and every one of us humans are going to see everybody have different wallets, and we're going to obviously be able to see that. And it's going to be more or less like, of course, not everybody's going to be interested to see what's in your wallet, but the people that you meet nowadays and they're interested in you, they usually look you up on the internet, whether that be social media or YouTube, whatever you're on. They're going to look you up on that platform and follow you and look at all your videos and like kind of stalk you or whatever. And that's kind of what I think is going to be, instead of going to like Instagram, I think people are going to go to whatever wallet, which I think there's going to be an app that's going to be super convenient. That's going to show everybody's, digital items or digital assets or whatever, and then that's going to be their wallet. And it's going to be, like I said, more convenient to go to that and more accurate to go to that to find out about yourself rather than social media is. And I think that, it's going to have a correlation with social media on a level that we don't really imagine today. And I think it's simply because of the fact that a lot of traditional media today, meaning examples of traditional media would be billboards, would be newspaper, magazines, TVs or TV commercials, stuff like that. That's what I would say, is in that category. And what's going to be happening, or what I believe is going to be happening, is that all of that money that is going into that kind of funnel, it's going to no longer go to that funnel, simply because of the fact that not many people are watching cable television, so it shouldn't take millions of dollars from Coca-Cola, Adidas, Nike, and all these other, big corporations and companies to produce a TV commercial when not many people are watching the TV commercials. Matter of fact, like, I guarantee if you're even watching cable still, you probably fast forward through the commercials. And if you don't do that, which I do know a few people that don't do that, they're on their phone. They're not going to watch the commercials. Very, very, very few, people watch a commercial other than the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the only exception that I would say is valid. But other than that, like, I believe all of that money that goes into that kind of media advertising, world, it's going to go straight into social media and, the funnels that are providing all of us entertainment, which are TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Like, if you look at everybody's screen time across the board of the United States and even probably the world, you're going to notice that more people are spending their attention on their phone than they are on the TV, than they are on anything else. So why wouldn't you, like, it's not even like why wouldn't you, but it's just more or less like, I mean, if you're not already creating content, you should start doing that now. I'm just going to throw that in there now, because all of the money, like I said, that's going to traditional advertising is going to go straight into these platforms. And guess who's going to get the money from that platform? The people that are making the content that is entertaining the people. Let me say that again. The creators, let me change the word instead of people, the creators that are creating content on the platforms that are entertaining the people. That right there is everything. I promise you, that right there is everything. Honest to Pete, just that alone is going to be nuts. Like, I think it's going to be nuts for our society. I think it really is. And I think it's going to cause a lot of competitiveness in the social media game, and I think that's really, really good. But I think it's going to get so chaotic that I think creators are going to go two routes. They're either going to do what they're already doing now, which is, basically keep creating content, get paid, and take the money, reinvest it into their YouTube channel, reinvest it into creating content, build their audience. And eventually some creators, if they have it in them, if they're operators or whatever, or entrepreneurial, they'll start their own companies, whether that be, I threw out the Lonnie New can, but like whether that be an energy drink, whether it be a supplement company, whether it be a water company, and a rehydration drink company, like whatever it may be, they're going to utilize their platform, their audience, to create more revenue by creating, commodities or items for them to buy, which is genius. I mean, if you think about it, internet's only been around for, like I said, less than 30 years. And I mean, people are making lots and lots of money doing what they absolutely love to do and creating content for the internet. And I am predicting that it is only going to get crazier and crazier. I think there are only going to be more and more stories of people making, instead of millions of dollars a year, I think we're going to see the first YouTube creators that are getting paid like double millions into just stupid stuff. Like, I genuinely believe that we are going to see content creators going bonkers, going absolutely bonkers, as far as, financial revenue goes and success goes, as far as that goes. And I like I said, there's going to be that route. I need to go back to what I was saying. And then the second route is, which is very, very similar to what I'm going to do, and I already see some people doing it. I think a lot of people are taking this model very, very seriously, and that is the model where it's a more minimalistic route, is what I would call it, which means it's, if you've got a big audience, a big platform, and you're making tons of money from, those people watching your content, if you're making, extra money, you're not going to go out and, spend it or reinvest all of it necessarily into your channel. You're not going to go crazy and, buy like crazy stuff. You're not going to do anything wild. Instead, what you're going to do, because you just love what you do so much, and you know what kind of lifestyle you like to live, how much money you need to make that work, and that the people that put you on to doing what you love to do instead of working 40 to 50 hours a week, which a lot of content creators leave their normal jobs to go do and become a content creator. Like, people are well aware that it's like, wow, without having the people that support me watch my content, I'm screwed. I'm genuinely screwed. And those people sometimes will give back to the point where it's like crazy, you know, like I'm trying to think of an example of somebody, but I mean, there are a lot of content creators that I think give back, and I the biggest thing that I think with that is like, there's no system in place for content creators to do that. There's no, for example, like what I believe the block, and like this goes back to like what I predict the blockchain is going to enable all of us to do, is give back to our community in way more meaningful ways, in ways that are actually financially beneficial for their lives. And I think once that becomes normalized, and once that starts becoming a thing, which I believe will happen in like 2024 to 2026, like around that range, maybe even later probably. But I hope to lead by example, because that's around the time where I believe I will be making some money off of what I do online. And once I, like I said, get to that point, I really, really look forward to showing how I navigate the income that I get through creating content. And a lot of my projects that I've made up so far for NFTs are going to reflect that exact thing that I said, and it's going to allow me to give back to my community and the people that listen to my podcast, or watch my fishing videos, the people that, just genuinely support and like to be called, a part of my community. Not necessarily called, just people that like to be a part of my community. I want them to benefit from what I've got going on as far as content creation goes, because I believe with all my heart that someday the people that are watching the content can even, retire off of the money that they're making per se off of the content creators. I think there's going to have to be a special way that it gets taxed, obviously, so that, that's all good. But obviously, other than that, I think that's going to be a great investment opportunity and a great way for people to not just follow a creator, but also invest in a creator or invest in a brand. Very similar to like stocks, but just a smidge different, because instead of investing into obviously a company, you're genuinely investing into a person. So I think which is kind of the same thing, because obviously there's an owner of a company, but I don't know. Obviously, there's a little bit of a difference there, a nuance, but anyway, that's like my biggest prediction as far as NFTs go. I think they're just going to be so helpful. Also, I wanted to mention music, because music, after VCon and hearing Snoop Dogg and hearing...
In 10 miles, take exit 47 onto Illinois Route 47 toward Hardley.
Sorry, this is like throwback to the beginning few episodes. Anyway, yeah, so... Shoot, what was I saying? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, so the music industry, I believe that it's going to allow a lot of content creators in the music world to get paid way more fairly, and to not have a middleman, aka a record label, calling the shots and making a majority of the decisions for themselves. I think that they're going to have NFTs in place of record labels, and I think those NFTs are going to allow us to listen to the music right through the NFTs. And I know that sounds freaking weird, especially if you know about NFTs, and I'm kind of just presuming all of you know about NFTs, which I probably shouldn't do. Comment below if you want me to do an NFT rundown or my version of one. I'm not going to take the time to do that today, but let me know if you are confused on that stuff. I will go in depth on NFTs on a whole podcast, and hopefully help you out, help you understand them better. But basically what I'm just referring to is, it's going to allow the musician to interact with the listener just like that. instead of utilizing a different, a platform like Apple Music, Spotify, all these different platforms that allow them to distribute music. But also they have that, and then they've also got a record label typically, and then they've got two middlemans. So two middlemans before they reach us. And what happens with middlemans? They squeeze out a lot of the profits, a lot of the money that could be used to either one,
stay in the left 3 lanes,
fuel the creators' lives, or two, to invest back into their communities and to give back to the people that put them on, which I think is going to be way more popular in the future. And I, like I said, I'm super excited to be able to potentially be a leader in that. And the other thing I wanted to mention on this podcast for a prediction is my prediction about breath work. Like, I believe breathing therapy, I believe like knowledge around breath work and how to inhale and exhale properly, which I know it's like, what? You don't know, what do you mean proper breathing? Like, it sounds goofy, but if you look up how to breathe properly, you'll understand that there's actually different techniques of breathing that help your health significantly and help you on a day-to-day, but also and year-to-year basis, but also on a micro level, minute-by-minute basis. Like, if you need a little bit of energy, you're driving, like, there's a cadence and a breath that you can do that's going to help with that. And I think that's going to be something that's super popular. I've listened to only one.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
That's why I really don't know much about it, and I apologize. But I will say that I have been doing those simple exercises, breathing in for the same amount of time as I exhale, like simple stuff like that to get in the moment. Like, it's just little things like that are just going to be way, way, way more popular on a day-to-day conversation level, I think. And I also think fishing is going to grow a lot. I think the sport of fishing is going to continue to grow ever since like 2020. I obviously think that a lot of people just got into fishing just because of the fact that it was easy for them to do. They were able to go spend some time outside, obviously away from people, and just pick up a new hobby because a lot of people were bored during the pandemic. And I think that momentum, along with content creation and the internet, and I just believe, like, what will be cool will continue to change. And I think fishing is going to be one of those things that is yet to be totally cool, but I think someday it will be. And I predict that's going to be, around 2030, around that area. I think it's going to be like the absolute peak, and then I want to hopefully keep the momentum going in like 2040, 2050, and so on. And the way I want to do that is I want to go competitive. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I really want to utilize my platform at that time in my life, and hopefully maybe I'll have kids and stuff like that, so that'll be really cool. But I want to utilize my platform to help people get into fishing, stay into fishing, learn about fishing, all of that. And I'm going to utilize a lot of the money that I generate in the fishing world to give back to the fishing community as a whole. And I want to, improve our water life, and I just want to improve just fishing all around the world. Like, that's just one of those things that, as a fisherman, I think that's the coolest part about your journey on this earth, is that you get to inspire and help others learn about fishing and become fishermen, even when they didn't have the luxury to have parents that were into it to teach them how to do it. And instead, I feel like I get that luxury, and I take that very seriously, and I love doing it. I literally love doing it. So someday I want to give back a lot of the money that I generate through my fishing content back to you guys as supporters, and I really look forward to utilizing NFT infrastructure to do that. And yeah, I just...
In 2 miles, take exit 47 onto Illinois Route 47 toward Huntley.
I think it's an exciting time to be alive. I think 2022 is just one of those years that is just going to be looked back on as a great year to start something, because everybody thinks that once something great is built, it no longer can be built again. But I believe that once somebody has carved a path, there are going to be many, many, many other people to go and, recarve that path in the way that they believe is beautiful to them, and in the way that they thought that maybe they could have done it better. So with that being said, I hope you are all happy as heck. And if you are happy, spread that happiness in one way or another. Send a text to somebody that you love. Wish them well today. And I love saying this. As always, guys, please stay curious. It is so important to stay curious in this life. And that's what ultimately allows us to benefit from the opportunities that we see and believe that are going to happen in the future. So with that being said,
use the right lane to take exit 47 onto Illinois Route 47 toward Huntley.
Do some research and do more research. And if you have the resources to do it, invest some money into the things that you believe in that are going to be a part of our future, especially because
take the exit, then keep right.
Alright, I'm into this. If you're around my age, you know that this life is short.
Use the right lane to keep right onto Illinois Route 47 north toward Huntley.
Very long. It's very, very long. So plan ahead and take advantage of it, because we're young.
Keep right.
Peace.